And today we have a special guest. His name is Byrd, and he is the CEO of UWish. He's doing some amazing things for the community, and I'm excited to bring him here today to talk to you exactly about what he's doing that's going to benefit our young people here in Ghana. So Jesse, welcome to Ghana.
Thank you so much.
How is it feeling so far to be here in West Africa?
It's feeling great. I mean, I know people say this all the time that it feels like home, but it's not cliche at all. It feels very warm. We were talking about it as a crew for UWish, just in terms of the fact that, you know, we're not really used to being somewhere where all you look around and you see is just black people of color, and they're at every level of society, and they're the president, and they're also the police, and you know, as an African American, that's not our experience, and so it's been very relaxing, disarming, comforting, just to see so many of your own at every level of society.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So let's jump in. You are the CEO of UWish. For those who are not familiar, tell us exactly what UWish does.
Yeah, so UWish is a diverse children's content company. You can think of us as like the diverse Disney. What we're trying to do is create stories for children, think picture books, think animation, think gaming, merchandise, that are created by people of color, that reflect the black experience and can go out into the world with really, really high quality. And so if you think about it, there isn't really a company out there on the high level like that, that's telling our stories, but that's also us behind the scenes making the stories too.
That's amazing. And what made you decide to, did you come up with this concept first of all? And what made you decide to, you know, touch on this? I know that it's important for young people, but some people could say it's important, but then they don't do anything about it. Why did you decide it was important for you to do something about it?
Yeah, so our founder, Byrd, started this company about 4 years ago. And it started off, he just dressed up as Santa Claus for Halloween. And he realized very organically that people gravitated towards it. And so he started to build a business out of it. And to his credit, he really sees the vision for representation and reflection. And my excitement about joining the team as CEO was to help be a backwind to that and a fuel, and to continue that vision of kids being able to see positive reflections of themselves. You know, things that represent goodness, things that represent charity and kindness and intellect and intelligence. You know, beyond sort of the images they've been given, largely by people who don't necessarily look like them or share their experience. And so that sort of pride, that sense of self-worth is what we hope to continue to instill in kids at a very early age so they can grow with it.
And so with your content, what's the age group that you're capturing? Is it the toddler age? Is it, you know, high school, primary school, as they would say in Ghana, for like elementary school?
Yeah.
What age group are you actually capturing?
I mean, in the macro, we always say at the office, we want to be 0 to 99 in terms of age range, right? We want people to grow with us and then stay with us through nostalgia as they get older and older. Our target demo is largely from 0 to 12. That's where we want to start capturing them with board books, with animation, cartoons, feature-length films, picture books, some graphic novels and comics and things like that. And that way we really start them off with these positive reflections that they can continue to grow with after that. But we want people to be lifelong UWish fans. Just as they get older, they'll just engage with the content and share it with their kids and their grandkids, right? The same way people do their favorite Disney films.
Yeah. Now, when we're talking about characters that people gravitate towards, I'm seeing these two characters sitting here, resting, relaxing. Santa Claus. Tell us a little bit about this Santa Claus character, because I mean, I love seeing this black Santa, and you know what? I actually think he kind of looks like Byrd Davis.
Yes, this is Black Santa. He is modeled after Byrd Davis, our founder, when he dressed up as Santa Claus. This is Cece, his wife here, which we were really big on, is making sure Cece had her own identity and presence. We didn't want her to just be an attachment. You think about Mrs. Claus throughout the lore of the Santa Claus mythology, and she's largely been a silent partner, voiceless, presentless. And so we want to give her a presence. We want to make sure that she has her own autonomy, her own ideas, her own opinions, her own drive. And so she's actually over Valentine's Day the same way Black Santa is over Christmas in terms of being responsible for making sure that it goes off successfully for her region. So yeah, this is Black Santa. He's responsible for making sure that Christmas in his particular sector goes off without a hitch. He's responsible for that area, And he does it with humor, with wit, with intellect and intelligence, with pride, but also with culture. He's not trying to code switch.
Yeah.
He's not trying to assimilate. He loves, also outside of this, one of some of his characteristics is he likes to play basketball and he likes to DJ. He loves music and he loves sports.
DJ Santa.
DJ Santa is a real thing. And so, and these are all qualities instilled by our founder, but it was just one of those things where we didn't want to make him have to be, tweed jackets and elbow patches, and we want to make sure that he's something that resonates with us, that we like too.
Okay. And how have the kids been responding to them?
Oh, kids have been loving Black Santa and CC. I mean, literally every holiday season, we do so well with merch. We do so well with the things that we're promoting, because really there's no other market competition. I mean, we own the copyright around all of this, the Black Santa name, everything else. And so, we're really the only alternative right now that has sort of a presence and some momentum, which is sad in one sense, because you would love to see sort of more things of different cultures being reflected, but we are proud to sort of carry that torch and try to blaze a path for representation within the holidays and within animated characters.
And so what is the most popular of your stories? Because when we think about Disney, they have like their mainstay characters. Do you have certain books within UWish that people gravitate towards more, that are most popular? Which ones are they?
Yeah, so we have a few properties that people are really, really excited about. Black Santa and Cece are like our Mickey and Minnie Mouse, our Bugs, Bunny, and Babs. And so these are our two lead characters. They're going to be the face of our brand for UWish. But we also have Nerth, which is a brand that's focused on preserving sort of the ecology. You think about global warming and things like that. So almost think in the vein of a Captain Planet, right? So we have a storyline with that. We also have Boom and Time Out that teaches kids the history of sports and sports organizations through fun rhyme and lyrics and stuff.
That's cool.
And so we have very specific IP that exists in a very specific category to teach kids sort of about that realm or that world. So really we're trying to build, not just a universe, but a galaxy of content and IP where all of these things stand alone and they have a presence and kids get to know them and they can gravitate to the characters that they like the most. You think Donald Duck and Goofy and Daisy and Mickey, and all of these are sort of different personalities. You even think Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and Piglet, different personalities. Or kids can have magnetism to who they feel most connected to. But we want to give options. So those are some of our highline IPs.
Okay. And do you have any stories that touch on diversity in different countries? So for instance, you have the Black community in America that has a sense of culture. The African American culture is pretty distinctive. And then you have Black people who may be in Puerto Rico, or they may be in Mexico. Do you have any stories that touch on any of those types of cultures, or are you working up towards that?
Yeah, so what we're excited about is this partnership, and I don't want to jump ahead if we were going to get there, but this partnership with UWish Africa is a part of how we want to tell authentically diverse stories across the globe. So we're going to be telling some stories from here in Ghana culture. We are partnering with Prince Anthony, who leads an animation studio here, and Francis, who's our lead animator here on the ground. And we are already building out some stories. We have a release coming out next winter that'll come out, and that'll be a story that comes here from Ghana and Ghana tradition.
That's exciting.
So, yeah, it's an animated short that we're working on right now, and so we're really excited about it.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So have you been doing a little bit of research while you've been here, just to see, what kids like? Have you been talking to kids or been around in environments where you could get some ideas?
Yeah, so we're really lucky. Prince has been a gracious host, and we're going to get to not only see a few toy stores today, but I've been itching to get to a children's bookstore as well. I want to see sort of Shelly Johnson is our visuals director, who is responsible for all the way these characters look. She does such a phenomenal job, and we've been itching, and we're going to do this today, to be able to see like what the kids are consuming visually in terms of toys, in terms of merch, in terms of books, games, and so we're excited to really get the flavor of what they already see and interact with, and then how we can add onto and expand and add value to that.
That's good. That's good. This is a really, really exciting thing that you're doing, and I hear people talk a lot about wishing that there was more diversity for kids. So for instance, here in Ghana, one of the challenges is even finding Black dolls, believe it or not. We're in a Black African country, but sometimes finding Black dolls is not as easy to find as the white dolls. And it's because a lot of this merchandise is not even made here, it's being imported. So you're dealing with this lack of diversity. So some people have been working towards bridging the gap in that. So I've seen over the last 5 years, there's been definitely an increase in black dolls in Ghana. So with the stories, I had some students who talked about that, they're reading books that are not even African books in school sometimes. So are you working towards maybe talking to some of the educational institutions to see if they can include some of your content in their educational systems?
Absolutely. Like, the goal for this is to create lesson plans as well for schools so that it's easy for them to implement some of this content, and also teach upon some of the themes that are covered in the stories and sort of why they're important and why they exist. We want to make it as easy as possible for schools to just sort of plug and play, just sort of adapt the content, have critical thinking sessions around it, get kids' thoughts and ideas around it. And to your point about the dolls and the lack of diversity, what's really interesting is that even the diverse dolls that we see are typically owned by corporations that aren't, reflective of us, right? And so who's really making the most money out of the sale of a black doll, right? It's typically not a black person, even when you see it, even though it's scarce, right? And so that's something we want to be a part of too. That's why we're passionate about making sure that people of color are behind the scenes as well, are in ownership, that it's a black-owned company, and that we retain that ownership even as we partner and license out. We don't want to give away the whole, we don't want to sell the house. We'll allow people to come in and partner with us, and we're excited about our partners. But it's important that equity is going back to the community, that the black dollar can circulate within its community longer and longer globally.
So you've been in Ghana for a few days, and we saw you at the Guba Awards. Tell us how you connected to find out that was even happening, and then what your experience was like at the awards show.
Yeah, so the UWish team was connected to the Guba Awards through Prince Anthony and Lady Denta, and they were so gracious to have us in and host us so that we could be a part of the experience. Our experience was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, from the fashion to the run of show, to the music and the performances, to the awards. And I think what I was so much looking forward to and was blown away by were the stories of all of the women who were awarded.
Yeah.
I mean, their journeys, their work, the different silos that they work in, how inspirational, how much leaders they are in their community is just something I was really excited to learn more about. And I did get that chance. I felt adequately satisfied in that respect.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to go again and again. I think this is something that I want to make a part of my yearly diet.
Oh, that's good. That's good. It was a phenomenal event. You're only here for a few days, only a couple days more. What are the things that you're looking forward to doing in the next couple of days before you leave?
We're really excited about hitting the markets, supporting some of the local vendors. I know my mom and family, most of my family's in New Orleans, Louisiana, USA, and just they want so many things from Ghana. Like, I basically came with an empty suitcase because I knew as soon as they knew I was here, they were going to want all types of gifts. And so I'm excited to go shopping for them as well as myself. We're excited to go see a bookstore and a toy store, and obviously eat some more jola and have just more tastes of the culture. I think for me, the more immersed I can get into a culture, the better. I really want to see, taste, feel, hear what people come here to do, and what people are so proud of that live here. So,
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And so what have been, let's say, one or two things that has really stood out to you since you've been here?
Yeah. Definitely the Google Awards, and then we went into Jamestown, and we got to see just some of the history there and speak to some of the people, and just hear, why Prince and Lady Denta are so passionate about bringing things like this to Ghana, because this animation studio that we're doing with UWish Africa, it's going to create jobs, it's going to create opportunities, it's going to create opportunities for credentials as well. We're building a pipeline where, of course, experienced animators can come in and start now, but people who are passionate and want to enter the space, we're building a pipeline where they can learn and get their chops and say they've worked on this movie and that movie, and then you can trade that experience and take it wherever you want to take it. And so just really, really passionate about that as well in terms of jobs creation, and I think that seeing the whole town, the whole perspective of Accra, allows us to just get a fuller scope on why this is so valuable, what we can do to help by bridging this partnership.
Yeah. So you went to visit the chief in the eastern region with Prince Anthony. How was that experience? Because I do meet people who they've never gone and met a chief or know what the cultural customs are. What was the experience like for you?
In the absolute best way, it was overwhelming. And the reason why I say that is because we don't, as African Americans, get proximity to that type of royalty, legacy, history, pride in our culture. And to be able to experience that and to go through the customs and to just learn different ways of respect and how things operate was such a powerful experience for us, and something I won't soon forget, being able to not only meet the chief, but I'm trying to think of the name. I may have to start that over again. The Queen Mother. So it was such a powerful experience. Getting to meet the chief, not only the chief, but the Queen Mother. Overwhelming in such a positive way, because we don't really get to see those types of reflections of our history and our culture. It's been so separated as African Americans, and we've been so blocked off from it, and it's been taken from us. And so being able to see, like, this is where we come from, and there's pride in it. It's not the butt of a joke like it has been in America at some points, how they've tried to make our history be slapstick or comedy. It's like, no, everybody here is strong and beautiful and proud and wise. And it was really great to see that. It was an honor, honestly, to have that proximity and that experience.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. And then to drive out there, what was it like seeing the scenery? Because I find that whenever I take road trips in Ghana, there's a lot of beautiful scenery that I'm like, this is just spectacular, some of the beauty of the landscape. And people who live there don't even realize how beautiful it is, because they're just, oh, that's just this, that's just that. Yeah. It's like I grew up near Niagara Falls, and I didn't appreciate it until I left the area. So what was it like for you?
The scenery driving out there, I mean, the greenest greens and the bluest blues. I think the sky is something I'll never forget, especially as we drove back. And it just always reminds me of the richness of the resources here on the continent. It's like you see all of this, and it's just so effortlessly grows and just is. And we have so many things at our fingertips and our disposal. It's really largely about us uniting, not only in Africa but across the diaspora, and bringing all of our resources together so that we can really have more ownership, more control, more say in how our resources get used, and then who gets to benefit from all of the natural wealth that we have here in the earth in Africa as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then what would you tell somebody who's at home, they're in the US, they're wherever they are in the world, and they're thinking, I don't think I want to go to Africa. They have this misconception. What would you tell them about why they should come?
Well, it's absolutely transformational, and there's something here that you can't get anywhere else. And you will leave here imprinted upon in such a positive way. And so if you really want another perspective, another lens, a deeper scope on your own experience, your own history, if you want to come somewhere where you feel connected to pride about your history as opposed to just the hardship of it, I think you have to go back to the continent. You have to come back here and get to the origins of what was intended for you, how you're meant to be seen and how you're meant to see yourself, and cut through the fog of sort of the stories that have been told to us to sort of keep us down and keep us in our place. So it's liberating. And I think this is one of the only places you get that deep liberation as someone who's Black or African and of the diaspora.
And how can someone get in touch with you or with UWish if they wanted to get involved, if they want to invest, if they want to, collaborate, if you're looking for that?
Yeah, so there are two websites that you can check out if you want to keep up with Black Santa and UWish. BlackSanta.com, you can go there to see some of our merch and some of the other things specifically related to Black Santa and Cece. And beyond that, if you want to learn more about our UWish universe, you can go to uwishco.com. That's the letter U, wishco.com. And you can follow us on Instagram at uwishco.com as well as at I Am Black Santa. So those are the places you can find us. If you are interested in being a part of this mission, a part of this journey, we would love to have you. We want as many positive and as passionate collaborators as we can have on this journey, because it really is togetherness that's going to take us over the top.
Definitely. Thank you so much for your time today.
Of course. Thank you.
And have a good trip, the rest of your trip.
Yeah.
And a safe journey back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.